can I make a video with any of this chat? I just want your permission if I do before we talk. Can I do that?
Yes,
I mean, I don't.
Okay. I just thought I'd tell you how I started out with AD and where it led up to where it did. In fact, I didn't even know what YouTube was. I didn't. My kids got me a new phone, and I asked them, "What is YouTube?" And they showed me around and how to work it. And I told my kids I wanted a crime channel because that's what my husband did before he passed away. He was a detective, and so I found AD. And I was new to YouTube. I never knew what the word troll was. I never knew what anything was. And I started to watch AD. And I believed everything he said for a long time. I mean, for a long time. And then I became a mod. And make a long story short, Mo, Michael, and all of them left. And they wanted us to go. But I didn't want to go because I don't have much of a life. And I liked modding. I really did. And so we all stayed, other than the ones who had left. And then we were told we couldn't be friends with them or talk to them anymore, which killed me because, you know, they were part of the team. They're the ones who taught us a lot. And then after that, I started to pick up on a few things like I guess when I started to question is when it got to the witchcraft stuff, being in cults and stuff, that really bothered me. But see, we were in different chats, so the producer wasn't in our chats, in our mod chats. She was separate. So we never knew what was going on. Like, never, ever. We never knew what the show was. But I really didn't care because I went in for the subs. When I first started, I watched channels because that's what we were told to do, to watch the channels, get people's names, and then when they come in the chat, we were to delete them. And so that was like, what, 2 years ago or whatever. But one day I had gone in, and then I'd seen that people were making stuff about me, and that hurt me. And so I told AD, I don't want to do that anymore. It hurts me. And he says, well, I don't want y'all in there anyways anymore. So it had been a good 8-9 months because we were told that there was, 300 letters or 100 letters or whatever. And he was going to do join Patreon, but we knew it was the end of the month. All right, I know this is dishonest, but we did it. And he knows now that we did it. But we felt bad for those people who couldn't get into Patreon. We did. And so we contacted him. And when he was on Patreon and not Crowdcast, we would send him the link. We would just say, don't say anything, but here's the link. Because when you've got people that have been watching you and been there for so long, and you know that they're in such a dire situation, you want to try to help. Well, I ended up being honest and told everybody we need to tell AD what we're doing. So we did. At first he said that's okay, but then he came up with a better plan in his eyes. Now, see, we were thinking we were doing something good. You do something good and help somebody, and then something good comes back to you. Well, he changed it and come on the show the next night and says, adopt a Patreon. We about had a heart attack.
Oh, so I remember
that. Oh, we spoke at the same time.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Do you guys remember that?
Remember that? I watched that.
Yeah.
We were so upset because that's not doing anybody. That's not helping anybody. That's making another sub pay extra money for somebody else.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started to get angry. That's when the angriness started to come out in me. And I was mad. I mean, I was really mad. But because of my loneliness and the love for the subs, I just wasn't ready to quit. You know, all of us, I should say 3 of us, would say, is it going to be today? Is it going to be today? Nah, let's just wait. And then the letter thing happened. And we could never be told the truth about the letter thing. And so we all got in a big fight. We got in a huge fight saying, listen, you can't tell the subs you're putting out this and you don't give what you put out. Now, this is what we were told. And I believe that I didn't watch OD, but if y'all say that Shannon was on his show, I believe that she was. I do. The producer, was friends and still is very good friends with her. And so, with Shannon. And apparently, this is what we were told. Shannon was friends with the Watts, but in one of his Patreons, AD had telephone calls from the family. And the thing was that they were supposed to be, the Watts said it would be okay to put out the phone calls, but leave the family out of it, like leave Jamie's personal conversations out. So apparently he didn't do that. And so the Watts got mad and said that this is an excuse that we got about the letters. And so they couldn't do, since he did he went behind their back and did the videos, that now they can't do the letters. And so there's only going to be a couple. Now, the producer told us after we had all left that there was never that many letters, and she had told him that, but he exaggerated it and said there was. Okay, we were all upset about that, but what made us more upset is these people paid. Not only did they pay for that and they didn't get it, but they were billed again.
Yeah,
2 days.
Yes,
2 days later.
Happens.
So us 3 came to the decision, and actually it was Hennessy. It was her idea that we demand AD give the money back.
Oh, right.
He gives the money back. So he did the show, and he says, for those who, want your money back for this, you just email us and we'll give you your money back. So we were happy that he did that. That made us thrilled, because that was dirty. I was friends with some of the subs on Messenger, and they keep in contact with me because of Daddy, and I still am with a whole lot of them, and a lot is left, but he.
Thank you for coming.
So that's what started that. So the letters. Then it just started to go downhill after that. We were starting to be told that we had to put the Patreon link in every 2 minutes. Now, I'm not tech savvy. I couldn't post any other link but the Patreon link. And the only reason why I could post that is because it was saved to my phone. So I was a Patreon queen. But I told him, that. So basically that was my job. Post the Patreon link.
Bless you.
And he not only just me, he wanted everybody to. So we said no. I said one maybe at the beginning of the show. So I suggested, when you come on, thank everybody for coming into the chat, and if they're interested, join Patreon. I mean, there's just so many lies. He lied to us why he wasn't monetized anymore. Like,
what did he tell you?
That he was going to give people a chance to join Patreon. It was
Yeah,
saving money.
Got that
And
video. Yeah.
dummy me, I believed it. No, if you don't watch anything else, mind you, you don't know. I believed it. You know, I'm thinking, gosh, he's starting to be a good guy. But then he's telling me to all of us to post that, and we said we didn't want to. Maybe once at the beginning, or if somebody asked, and maybe a reminder at the end. But you just don't. To us, it was like begging for money. I didn't have a problem with him playing poker. If that's his cup of tea, more power to him. What I had a problem with is the lies. That's what that's what my problem was. And there is so many of these subs that have been with him probably before I've even been there, that, you know, I actually, in one of the chats, and I didn't know her real name, so I couldn't get a hold of her. She had said, I'm giving up my medication so I can join. And that killed my
so sick.
That killed my heart. But none of us three knew what her real name was, so we could contact her. And see, then when he went to Crowdcast, he told us that there was no way to share a link with that. Now, I'm not tech savvy. Like, I know that they would get the link from Patreon, and they would send it to me, and then I would send it to the people who wanted it, you know, so they could get in for free and not have to watch. But when he went to Crowdcast, I had lost my job, and so I had to quit my Patreon. I mean, I couldn't afford it. I had no income. And so at the end, I couldn't even go in. He wouldn't give me a link to go in. He said there was no way he could.
Yeah.
That's bad.
You couldn't even get a free link to go in. Oh, God, it's disgusting.
So I didn't do the Patreons on the end. But it got to the point that everything was about money. And so it was Chris, I, and Peggy who had left first. We had all left. And and it hurt me because I thought, you know, like when we said that we wouldn't post the link, he said that there's plenty of moderators out there that he could get that would do it. But I thought, you know, that I was something to him. And it killed me because when I told him I'm leaving, it was no big deal. Oh, well, you'll be missed. Like it was nothing. And then the day after, Emma and Kevin had left. And so we had all left. I mean, I had a hard time. I did. I was guilt of hurting the family. I had started to watch y'all channels and realized, what the hell have I been doing? What have I been doing? What have I been associating with? What? It was bad. Depression, like, really had set in. Emma said that she was very sick to her stomach. I mean, it was hard. It was so hard for me to up and walk away from what was my out in my life.
Were you there when it did his Google search? Because we thought that's why you left, when they found his Google
No,
search.
I seen that on your guys' show, and I had already left, and that's when I had wrote what I did in Mo's group. It had made me sick.
Yeah.
It made me so sick, and I mean, I literally had a breakdown. I truly did, and I had to go seek help, and I didn't know how to get a hold of Frankie and his family, because that's the number one thing. And I prayed and prayed what to do, and he came on Mo's live, and he forgave me, and that meant the world to me. That I was my own selfishness But
not darling.
You're
It's not
setting me
selfish.
off.
No.
No.
You
that
know
I
when you
would hurt somebody, and
You were tricked. You didn't know, hon. No, you didn't know. This is what our channels are
look,
trying to do.
Most people in this chat tonight have been there. They've subbed to him at some point. Some have stayed longer. Some have contributed. I think Jo Maidry she's here tonight. She were a big supporter of Amy.
yeah, and, she was one of my favorites in there too. I mean,
lovely Jo. Yeah. So please, it's done 90, and the thing is, it brainwashes. He's done it to a lot. It does it to every people now. It brainwashes people.
Well, that's even what my psychiatrist had said, and I'm still seeing one, and I'm glad I am. It's just not for that. It's, taking care of my daddy, and then
that's why he's dangerous, guys. That's why he's dangerous.
She had even said that that people can, when you start listening to something long enough, you start to believe it. And like I said, I believed everything up until like the cult stuff, and then I got thinking, gosh, could that be? Am I living in such a bubble that because I just have never heard of that kind of stuff before? But there was a lot of things that I still questioned, but I stayed. I mean, I had nothing to do with the shows. At the end, he would always say, "Country cowgirl, come on, come on, come on." But the last couple of weeks, I wouldn't come on and talk. I would just tell Emma to tell him, no, I don't want to come on. I just had a sick feeling. It just like it wasn't right. And I know there's still people out there that hold anger towards me, and I understand it. But I just kept thinking the only thing that matters is that the family has forgiven me, and that's the only forgiveness I need is from them. But so it's easier for me if I have never turned back and watched him, but I've watched the clips that people have put out. Like somebody put a video out of him laughing. So I watched somebody. I'm learning who everybody is slowly. But somebody had made a video. A little boy was talking about his sister, and he's wondering if she's alive or if she's, a heartfelt thing. And AD is laughing in it, and it killed my heart. And see, all this stuff, I was so busy looking at the chat that I never watched his AD's facial expressions. In fact, a lot of times I'd have to be in there with Daddy, and I'd turn down the sound and only watch the chat. So half the time I didn't even know what AD was saying. I would just be looking at the chat and talking to people. But, some of the stuff that they're showing, like he's so upset now about some other gal making money.
Him, yeah.
And I'm thinking, and
he's doing exactly the same.
It's like looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what you sound like.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we were trying to tell you that you sound like, except in a nicer way. He told me when he changed to Crowdcast, there was no way to share the link. So he couldn't even share it with me to get in. So, but everybody, now that I'm watching videos, y'all can get in, and it's like, he lied to me. No, we had to pay. All of us had to pay.
That's disgusting. After everything you did for him, this is how he repays people. He's no empathy. And it's not your fault, sweetie, because people like that, the problem's with them, not with you.
And it just hurts my feelings that he has such control over somebody that he can ruin friendship.
That's what they do. He's a master manipulator, and he's a confidence trickster. Yeah. He gets.
And they prey on people like us.
Yeah.
They prey on vulnerable people. And that's what makes me mad. The people that are supporting him, they can't be empathic people. They can't, because they're not seeing the truth. The truth will come to empaths in the end, like you, like me, like everybody on this chat now.
I don't know. It's like when I'm an old lady, and my group of friends are small, but they're good friends,
you
and
know,
this is what you don't do to one another. You don't hurt each other.
This is what people like AD do, and they don't realize. They do not realize what hurt and pain they cause good people, because they don't
Well, he
feel like
knows my life. I
but he
shared my
doesn't. This
life,
is it.
and
It
he didn't
doesn't.
even care. He threw
I
me to the
know
curb
they
like
don't.
I was nothing.
But it's
yeah,
not.
what it
You
does.
are everything, but that's because of who they are, not because of what you are or who you are. They're the crazy people. They're the ones that are in the wrong, not you. You've done nothing wrong. You. No, I just.
And then he
I
would
get so
promise
angry.
us he'd quit the watch. He would promise us, like, we'd tell him, yeah, quit. And then he quit. And then he says, well, they still make fun of me or whatever, so I'm going to do it again. And then he stops.
Yeah,
And
it's an excuse.
then when the movie came out, then he says, now I can get a whole group of new people that had never seen it before. And it's like, oh no, here we go again. And it is. That's what it started to do. He started from the first one I was with him before I had left in October.
Did you know
And
if he had the link to Netflix? You know, he said he had the link to the film, and he was a partnership in Netflix. Did you know anything about that?
I know that Kevin had watched it, so yeah, they did have it.
They did they? Just
Yeah,
I
wanted to
think they
let
got.
you know.
I
and
think they got.
I didn't know. I don't know how to do files and open up that kind of stuff, and so I told him I'll just wait till it comes out, because my phone probably wouldn't hold a movie like that. So
Right.
so yeah, they did have it because
Did
they had watched it. I didn't though. How did I not say it? But
You
see, if you're
don't.
not looking for it, you don't see it.
You don't. You're
And
right.
in my mind, you don't want to believe the worst.
Pirate.
But there are some things that you couldn't help notice. And then so when he started to do at the end, just before I left, he started to do, can't remember what it was, join patron. And I'll be doggone, it was 2 days again before. So Peggy and I, we put in the chat, please realize that you will be billed again in 2 days. And we did it without his permission. We did. We kept doing it. If you join now and pay the $5 now, you will be billed again another $5. And then we'd keep putting, remember, if you sign up for, because a lot of people would think, okay, if I sign up on the 13th, I'm not going to get billed again until the 13th. But, so people didn't, but at the end, that before we left, that's what we were doing, because it's not fair.
Somebody posted a warning about getting charged twice. It was deleted. And that's right.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I did. Peggy and I kept posting it on, like, the last week we were there, that remember when you sign up. But the funny thing is that AD says he never deletes comments. He'd beat us all to them. Like, we didn't, and our opinion was, how we thought is, people don't have to agree, long as they're not calling somebody, a nasty name or cussing. Those are the, I didn't block. Now, if they disagreed, that's fine. People have the right to disagree, but some comments kept getting deleted, and we'd be in our chat and it's like, who deleted that? Because we can see on our screen who deletes it, and they'd say, scroll back up, it was AD. Because, like, that shouldn't have been deleted. That's just a genuine question. And I don't know how he's changed. I just also down to earth, but it becomes so much about money. It
All about
becomes,
money,
and just not
definitely.
about money, but when
fame,
somebody
celebrity.
asks you to please stop talking about something,
No,
that
it's horrible.
that's when you need to stop. You need to stop.
No respect.
You
No
need to stop.
respect.
And
Yeah.
after I put myself in Frankie's shoes after I left and got thinking, I had a son that passed away. He was my Marine and he was killed. And if somebody, I still can't watch war shows. But if somebody was to make videos every day on his death, I would probably
Oh,
I'd probably want to die myself. And now I understand
the
how
Rzuceks
bad.
feel.
Yeah. And I wish it would all just stop. I wish that.
And you ask nobody who blocked the Rzuceks from AD channel.
Mm.
What does she think when Frank Senior asked AD to stop and he never?
Okay, the first time, a long time ago, when it very first happened, I think it was Chris. I do, because AD said to do it. And then Mo had told us, what the hell, you never blocked the Ruzaks. So we unblocked them. We hurry and unblocked them. And Mo was upset. Mo was so upset. And I don't, and he didn't even, they wasn't saying anything wrong. It was, you know what? I came in at the tail end of it because I had got off work really late. And so I came in halfway through it. So I can't tell you the truth for sure. Who I know that Mo was upset and they got unblocked. But then they were unblocked, and I remember Frankie came in, his mom came in, talking about the recipe book, and it was all good. It was all good. And the next thing I know, they're blocked again. But it wasn't from us mods, because we never, that time it wasn't us. The second time it wasn't us. So it had to have been AD.
How did you think about when Mr. Rzucek came on and pleaded and asked them to stop doing what they're doing?
Killed my heart. And that's when we all said, and especially Chris. Chris broke down crying. We had a hard time, and that's when we said it needs to stop. It needs to stop. And
he's like Terminator, isn't he? He's just not gonna stop. He's not gonna stop because he's making
cockroach.
And I'm not bragging, but he had the best team ever. He had a team that truly cared about his subs, cared about his show, tried to tell him, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. I mean, we truly cared. We wanted to see him succeed. We had so many ideas, about just talking about even cases that have already been solved. How did it go down? Why, what made you think that this would turn out that way? There's so many crime cases you could talk about, but he didn't. He's one track mind, and it's whatever's bringing
the money in
the money. That's what you're going to talk about. But sometimes, money is the root of all evil. It truly is. And I don't know.
Oh, to watch. So I watch Martin and all that lot to get the highlights.
And see, I watch Martin, but I can't comment on anything because, a lot of people hate me. So, and I just assume not disrupting, I don't want to go disrupt his chat or anything like that. So, I do watch. I do watch them all. And like I say, I'm seeing things that it's like, how did you not see that? And I mean, there's a lot of things. Like, we did see the money thing. We did. And we didn't like it. And, we got him to give a refund. We felt good about that. we tried helping people with the subs, you know, to get into Patreon with the free link. But he even took that goodness away from us that we were doing by making somebody else pay for it. But the things he said is disturbing. Like, I don't know, the little girl came to him in his dream. I mean, maybe maybe he did have a dream, but you know, why would she go to a complete stranger? I mean,
the only thing that comes to him in his dreams is money. Trust me, nothing else.
It just. But I really I think that I wish they could get a really good attorney and sock it to YouTube.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, if they socked it to YouTube, they take things more serious. And it's just not him that's got to stop. There's several of them is YouTube, because they're allowing all of this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking about a case. Okay, there's nothing wrong with discussing a case, but for 2 years, are you kidding me? And it's the same thing. Nothing has changed with it. And
it's
we
just
always
making up stuff all the time.
We always just told him, you know what, if somebody else is involved, then you can pick back up on the case.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that if anything else come new, but I don't know. I don't believe. I seen in somebody's clip that he had said he's been working close with the Watts. No, he has not. He has not. They won't even talk.
Bullshit.
They won't even talk to him.
No.
You know.
Did you know about fake insiders, Snow Bunny? Did you? You know when he had the fake insiders?
You know what? I loved Dr. B, and I had no idea until I left that she I had no idea. Had no idea that she was the insider. But I knew that there was something wrong with that, because my husband worked with the FBI. He was a detective, and he didn't work in a prison. But let me tell you what, nobody's gonna risk their job and come out public and say, hey, let's get a petition. No way. It would ruin their livelihood. They would. So that I thought was funny, but I didn't know it was Dr. B. I still don't know for sure if it was Dr. B.
No, it is. No, she's admitted it. She's admitted it, and he's admitted it.
Oh, see, see, no, like I say, I believed that there was a guy at the shack. I believed all of that. I believed every single bit of that. I believe, like, when he was talking to somebody about the guard shack, that there was a guy at the guard shack. Do you guys remember that? There was a guy that came on and that he was.
No, inside, no, because he kept saying he, she. He couldn't. Do you mean he spoke to the guard? The guard that worked.
See, I really believe that. Yeah, see, I believe that he had spoke to. Yeah, I did believe that.
Full of lies.
And fishness kept me there because I didn't want to leave the subs.
That's not you. That's not you doing anything wrong. That's you being an empath and wanting to be friends with people. That's nothing. No, seriously, honey, I need to talk to you, because you need to get that out of your little head. That's nothing. You've done okay. You're a good person, and you have been manipulated by a master manipulator, a puppet master. And if you watch my videos, I'll help you out, because you sound like you do need to try and heal, because it's painful. I've been nearly crying listening to you. Oops, I just pulled my ear things out. But please, it's nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. If he wasn't who he was, you would not be where you are now. We wouldn't even be on this channel chatting. It's all to do with him.
Yeah, and I just wish he could be. I do see the good in him. I mean, his kids are such
There's
good
no good
kids.
in him. There's no good in him.
I see his kids, and
that's not good in him. That's not good in him.
That's true.
That's not him. They're their own people. What he's doing, even though the nice side, narcissists will be nice because they want something. There's always something in it. There's always a selfish need when they're nice.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Welsh Dragon. I really, do you know, I'm so passionate about what I do, and I know I keep repeating myself about my last channel. I went through absolute hell with the smear
the last
campaign.
channel's called Toxic Free.
Toxic Free.
Okay.
Yeah. I have been defamed and slandered on that channel as well, and I've learned so much. The more pain you go through, if you learn about your pain, look at me talking like this, I never used to talk my hands. The more you educate yourself and learn, the more you will get strength. And when you get out of this afterwards, you will be a stronger person for what you've been through. Right now, you're in the middle of it, and you're in the rabbit hole. You're confused. When you get out, you will be a better person. So narcissists make empaths stronger, and we're warriors. And when we get out of a narcissistic relationship, we are fighters, and you will be too.
And then you want to help. Like, I want to help all these subs so bad, but it's impossible for me to help them because I don't know some of them, I don't know their real names, so I can't look them up. I can't find out who they are.
But Snowbunny, I think Sagacious has got quite a few. It's Sagacious Angel's got a couple of questions. She keeps asking, but I keep missing.
No, I've asked questions. No, I've been watching chat and they've been asking questions. So I've been posing the questions. But I have to say, everything that has been posed, Robin has answered, clearly, which is great, And I'm glad that she's answering the hard questions as well as going, and we do feel for you. But these hard questions to be answered, and things like, did you know there was, did you know that the fake insider, which was clearly a fake insider, did you know they were fake, and who blocked the Rzuceks, and what did you think when Mr. Rzucek came on video, even Mr. Frank Rzucek Sr. came on video and asked, please stop, and he asked AD to stop directly, and AD's response was, oh, well, that Mr. Rzucek Frank on that video must be fake. Excuse me, he's got his face in front of you, idiot.
Yeah.
Now, I seen the one of him in front of the home. I had seen that one.
Yeah. So if there's a video of Mr. Rzucek speaking
to the press,
how can AD say, oh no, it's fake Frank? Fake Frank? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and then for a while he told us that there was somebody else coming in to pretend to be Frank.
Yes, that was his excuse. Fake Frank, fake Frank. No, it wasn't fake Frank. It clearly wasn't fake Frank because he did a bloody video.
Yeah,
exactly. We got confused because, when they came in the one time, and Sandy came in, we're all in the chat saying, well, if they're fake, are these ones fake? Like, none of us knew, but we just knew we didn't block them. So all I know is none of us mods, I can say that I know that Peggy, Chris, and I, none of us blocked the Frank the second time. But it was
and also AD used to say, oh, they used to support me. No, they didn't.
No,
They're just
they
polite, gracious. They're just gracious, polite people. So they tried to say to him, look, what you're doing is wrong. Please stop. That is not supporting him. That is not supporting him. That was just trying to have a conversation in a gracious way. Never, ever, ever did the Rzucek family support Armchair Detective. It's another lie.
Yeah, and they are amazing people. I can tell you that I don't know if I could be so gracious and as Frankie was to me. Because I did say something bad. I did. And I did put, has Frankie forgot that picture's out about him?
Yeah, you did. You laughed about that picture, and everyone is very, very, very upset about it.
Yeah,
but
and that's the guilt.
It's
the guilt that I live with.
But if you know now, and you really understand that what that did was absolutely so wrong,
Oh,
then
it
You're
was
a good
and that should
person.
be forgiven.
Yeah, that's why I say that I'm so blessed that he had forgiven me, because I don't know, honestly, if I could, and I haven't even seen the picture. I haven't, and I don't care to
Does
see
it
it.
exist? Is there a picture? Who
I don't
cares?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all got photos. We've all got photos we're ashamed of, but it's when someone starts to say, "Oh, I'll show it to the world." That's disgusting.
Yeah, and that was
Seriously.
so wrong of me, and that's what
But
made me.
you've admitted you're to fault. See, he never admits his faults. That's the difference. He doesn't see what he's doing is wrong. I've done lots of bad things in my life, and I put my hands up and said, sorry, it was a mistake. If you know it's a mistake, when you do a mistake 5 or 6 times, it's not a mistake anymore. It's a choice. I think
that's a very good point, Val, is that a lot
Yeah.
of people are just cannot believe that he will not apologise for anything.
He doesn't apologise. He's never said sorry for anything.
Nothing.
He's never even said, sorry, Frankie, for doing what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it because I think it's not even, it's just, there's just no sorry in his sentence. And again, if narcissists do say sorry, they're saying it for a reason. So don't even trust them if they do say it. I hate narcissists, really. Can you tell?
Yeah, and I'm just learning about narcissists, because I've never had it in my life before.
No,
I mean,
this is the hard thing.
Just want to know from Country Cowgirl if she knows whether or not Dr. B is actually a doctor. That is all I'm asking.
Oh, I would have no idea. I have no idea.
She isn't.
I don't know about the doctor status, but I know she was an intern in a prison. Whether that makes her a doctor, I don't know.
No, that makes her an intern in a prison.
Yeah, that's true.
I was going to ask you, do you think he's asked people to do this for him? Like now with this Chrissy thing, and then it was with, do you think he's...
Yes, definitely. Definitely. It's all a con. It's all it is, a con. He's still in prison.
See, none of us like the card reader. We didn't like the card readers. I was totally against the word sister wives. I mean, I live in Utah, and the polygamy is a big thing here, and I know a lot of them, and they're beautiful people inside and out, and basically that's insulting a religion. I mean, it's not my religion, but I didn't like that. We said that was so disrespectful, and but he didn't care. There's a lot of things that we didn't like, but it wasn't our channel, so there was not anything that we could do.
He's admitted that he made Chrissy contact. But watch Grim Reaper's recent video that shows Chrissy in the different light. In the light, it shows that proves it's a con. Sorry, what were you going to say, Steph? Sorry.
No, I was just saying. I was just saying, like earlier when we were saying that I'm glad that Robin brought it up about when he made up the injuries of a little girl, and he said he knows it because he dreamt it. He's sick. He's sick in the head.
Yeah, I mean, we all know in our hearts there has to be trauma and injury, but nobody wants to hear it, and that's nothing that should be discussed out in public. I mean, I don't even, my son was blown up in a helicopter in pieces, and I wouldn't want anybody describing, well, what parts do you think, could,
but even worse, made up. He makes it up and then and validates it by saying, "I dreamt it." It's ridiculous. How anyone
dream the truth?
Anyone?
Do you know?
Well, that's the thing when people say, "Oh, how could you watch him?" The thing is, it's becoming the light now. But he is a master manipulator, and I would say that the people. I can't put a percentage on it, but that's just a guess. But I'd say about 90% of the people coming out and saying, "Look what he's doing," were subs at one point.
The rest are just watching him for drama, and the rest are watching him probably because they've seen our videos, and they're going, oh, who are they talking about? And they'll click over and go, oh, that's him, I'll watch him. He's only getting subs because he's a drama queen, because he's creating havoc, and because people are being nosy after watching our videos. They sub him to keep an eye on him. He thinks they all like him. He thinks that they all watch him, and he's got all these subs because he's famous and they all like him. No, these people are sitting there with their popcorn, watching the drama, watching the chaos, because they're just like rubberneckers. You drive past a car accident, you're looking, he's a train wreck. That's what.
Yeah,
Well,
we
you know,
know.
that makes sense that you said that, because I moderate for a channel called Oh My Gosh TV, and he has over 3 million subscribers. But like when he goes live, the chat, I mean, there's like 50 of us moderators in there, and we're not close or anything like that, because it's a big channel. But even with 3 million, he gets at least like 7,000 in his chats.
Wow.
And it never made any sense why. I always wondered, like, 60,000 subs, why are we only getting 300-400 in a chat? And then I noticed also, it's really weird, but if he talks about anything else, the numbers are low. But if you talk about the Watts case, they go clear up. Like, I just think this case is pure evil. It's evil. And believe me, there's a lot of evil cases out there. There is, but this is
the worst case I've known.
Yeah,
the worst thing
just evil, and what it's caused, and it's caused division. It's caused hate among people who would probably really truly like one another. It has killed the family. It's hurt the family so badly, and I don't even think they've had time to grieve the way they need to grieve. And I know that AD's theory was, well, they just need to stay off social media.
Oh, that's ridiculous. And absolutely ridiculous.
And that hurt my heart, because I'm thinking, why must they give up everything? They've already lost their family. Why must they give up because of selfish people? That's why I say they need to go after YouTube, because even if you get AD off, there's still going to be all these other ones that are still going.
YouTube has already demonetized him, so it needs to be Patreon next. Cut off his money and you'll cut off him.
Yeah, or he'll stop.
Absolutely.
He'll drop people like a bloody lead balloon. He will drop them all. When he's getting no money, he'll disappear.
Yeah,
he will not. Absolutely. He will not continue. Definitely not.
No way.
And he's got no right to say they shouldn't even stop. Sorry, they shouldn't even stop being. They should stop going on YouTube. It's not the fact. I had a comment about this as well. Somebody before on one of my videos said, they should just stop watching YouTube, then turn it off. Well, it doesn't stop the talk. It doesn't stop the pain. It doesn't stop the people gossiping. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people watch YouTube every day. Why should they just stop and walk away and let all this crap about their family continue?
Yeah,
they shouldn't have to turn away from YouTube or not look at the headlines in a newspaper or turn off Twitter. It's their life. He should stop.
Needs to be stopped. And there's so many other things that he could discuss. And
so many.
He's tried to answer, but his views just don't go up. They don't meet the mark. So he's tried different things. They just don't. You'll see it'll say 100 views or 200 views. He talks about what's, and it goes up to 1,000 views. That's it. He can't get no money from talking about his bloody walk round park, can he?
Robin, did you know that the Shadows video that I'm not saying it's the first in the world. I'm not saying it's the first in the world. I don't know that, but I do know that he stole it from Diane. I do know that. Did you know that?
I knew that. I had just barely got on when I think this Diane, now this is from what I heard, sent it to Mo, or send it to AD or send it to somebody and said, hey, look, I see a shadow. That's what I heard. And that she didn't get recognized for it. But
she put it in his Facebook group, and then he took it and ran with it.
Yeah, she did.
And then I heard that he said that he told us that she's seen a shadow, but not of a child. That it was just a shadow. He is the one who actually found of the child.
No.
And so I learned who she, like, I knew who she was, but I really believed that they were looking at two different shadows. That's what I had thought, that they were looking at two different shadows. So I think what he needs to do is be honest and say that Miss Diane had sent him this, and she's the one who spotted the shadow. How hard can that be? I mean, give her the credit. Give this person, I don't know who she is, but give her the credit.
He's twisting it, because I saw him once. He was talking about the shadow of the baby being held. I think what they do is they use ambiguity, as we know, and they'll start talking about another shadow. Say, oh, that was the shadow she was talking about was this one. This is the one I discovered. So they muddy the water. So this word salad, they get you confused. Before you know it, the whole situation is up, and you think, what the hell happened? What's going on here? Because he kept talking about another shadow, about the baby being held or something. And it was and I'm thinking, oh, AD, you're
I
believed
it. I believed the two jeans. I believed the ponytail. I believed it. And then
he just gets them all mixed up, and then starts to say, oh no, that's not the shadow that I saw it. Oh my God, it was so annoying.
Yeah,
trying to get out of it.
You know, I just, if he'd be more truthful and he would come out and admit his faults and be truthful and never talk about the case again. But it's not going to happen. I mean, I will admit what I had wrote, and I'm so ashamed of it. So ashamed. And I've admitted to it, and I've apologized for it. And I don't know how he can live, because that guilt still eats at me. I don't want to be a part of anything that's going to hurt anybody. That's not who I am.
Exactly.
I don't want to be. I don't want to.
Well, you've made the right decision, and you know,
hurt innocent family no more.
Because he's just hurting people. He's dangerous. He's dangerous. He doesn't know. People don't realize how dangerous they are. They put a front on, but underneath that front, they're dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yeah, and I know that dog's not his. That belongs to his daughter-in-law. The dog just brought him in more views, and he figured that out. Winston's a good little dog. He really is a good little dog.
He's using the dog as a prop.
Yeah,
the bigger channels, the real big ones, like the Oh My Gosh. He's a big channel. He don't need a lie. He doesn't lie about anything, and people just love to follow him. He just is an everyday blogger that, you know, shows his life, the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. And he's doing so well. He's not hurting any families by what he talks about. He's not hurting anybody, and he's made it successful. And he gives back too. Like he gives back. I moderate now for another channel called PT News, and everything he makes, he donates to police officers that have been injured, or their families that have been killed, and he raises like $4,000 to $5,000, and he'll show the receipt the next day that he gave to the, you know, I'm just saying, these good people that have made it big, they give back to society rather than give me. What can I have? What can I? How much money can I make?
See, the thing is with him, we're not with AD, is the more money he's making, the more baby he's putting down in his poker. the more maybe he's losing or winning, the greedier he's getting, the more money he wants. The higher the money he puts on his poker, it's a loop. And he needs to keep getting more money in because he's getting so greedy with putting more money down on poker, losing it or winning it and thinking, shit, I need more. And this is how he's begging, because his addictive personality is, that's another video in itself I'm going to do. He's actually getting so like het up with what he's doing. He needs to feed his addiction. And that's why he's just, I can't even explain myself, but you know what I'm trying to say.
No, you do. You're doing right. That's right. He is.
Thank you.
Addiction, isn't it? He needs his money.
Yeah.
I don't care how he gets it. It's like a drug addict. They'll do whatever they can to get the money for the thing. And it's the same.
He's like a pimp.
I can't imagine living like that. I can't. I'd rather be poor and live in a cardboard box and be honest and and have my integrity than I don't know. I could never ask. Well, you're not in a good place when you're gaining from somebody else's heartache.
Blood money. Blood money.